was the first time when you come to Romania, and why?
I came in 2003 with the fire service from England as a volunteer worker to do some charity work in a small orphanage in Constanța.
Really?
So, yeah, just for a week, only as a guest worker. These guys have been coming since 1990. Every year they bring 30, 40 people, building materials, and they renovate hospitals. Yeah, I was born in just outside London. Both my parents are Irish.
Why Romania? I know you said in one interview that you want to live in a Latin country.
Yeah.
But did you manage to come to Romania?
I discovered Romania by accident. I didn't know where it was on a map, as most Western people still don't, actually, but certainly in that time it wasn't a popular topic, let's say, a popular destination. So yeah, I just came. I mean, I've always done a small amount of charity work every year. It's not something I do every day, but once a year I used to try and make some contribution somehow. And this one year I got invited as a guest to this construction team. I came along for a week, and I've got a great love of Latin culture anyway. One of my favourite countries is Argentina, but it's a long way from home and it's a very different part of the world. So Romania for me feels like Argentina in Europe. So it was a perfect fit really. I fell immediately in love with it.
I know you was working at Aston Martin.
Yeah.
When you say Aston Martin, you say a big company.
Yeah.
How was this job and why you leave it?
It was a dream job. It's a funny story really, but I basically, my eldest brother was a French Foreign Legionnaire. He was an officer in the Legion, I mean a tough cookie. And I left school at 16 with nothing, no papers, absolutely zero. And he called me to one side and he said to me, I mean, he's a super intelligent guy and zero patience. And he said to me at the time, you're clearly too stupid to use your head for a career. You need to use your hands. What do you want to do? And I literally didn't have a clue whether it was to become a cook or work in a garage or a carpenter. I had no idea at all. So he chose car mechanics for me. Actually chose building for me. He took me to a few building sites. They interviewed me, took one look at me and said, forget it, no chance. So then he switched to garages, took me to a few garages for interview. Finally I got a job in a garage, and then shortly after that he passed away, died at 28. And then somehow I picked up a different rhythm. I guess I've matured late. I did that for 4 years. I was a car mechanic for 4 years. Then I went to university 4 times actually, but I did 3 degrees, and each time I progressed, worked for Ford, worked for Jaguar, and then finally worked for Aston Martin for 12 years. It was like working in a toy factory. I mean, it was a dream job, wonderful people, everybody really passionate about the brand.
I'm gonna get rich for success, shaping me up for the big time, baby.
Tell me about something about your experience in Romania. You moved to Brașov for the first time.
Yeah.
For how long and how are you there? What's the first job? I don't know.
I didn't have a job. I just had a list of ideas. I had a list of 5 businesses that I could work. I didn't understand the Romanian culture and the Romanian mentality. I just had a naivety about what would work, which is probably a good thing, because you need to have
Definitely.
completely no preconceptions, otherwise you give up. So I came with 5 business ideas, and one of them was to start a theme park. One of them was to start what is now. Another one was a similar thing, but with maintenance and hairdressing and gardening, also on mopeds. So kind of, you know, you need somebody to fix your house, you call this number, somebody comes for an hour, and so I still think that's got a future. Finally, the other one was property management, because I could see that the estate agents in Romania were, I don't need to explain, they vary from okay to not so okay. So I come from an engineering background, so in my mentality, if you give me a task to do, you only have to give it to me once. You say, this is what I need to happen by this time, on this budget, can you do it? And if you say yes, you can't come back at the end of the time and say, yeah, well, I did it like this. So I just applied that to real estate, and I built a small business there, very, very nice team of people. It's a pleasure actually. I mean, the quality of people in Romania that you work with is very refreshing, honestly. I've got a great team in Brașov. They're very hard workers. I haven't paid any salaries for 7 years or more. They pay them. I mean, we've got a tin with the money from various activities. Everything's correct and proper. So 4 years ago, I moved to Bucharest to open a second office there, and built a team here. It's a very different dynamic here. I mean, 75% of all real estate transactions in Romania took place here in Bucharest last year.
If you gave me a chance, I would take it. It's a shot.
about Romanians. What do you think about us as culture, if you want?
It's a very diverse topic. I mean, I've got a great respect for Romanians and what they've been through. There's a certain, I mean, there's good and bad everywhere. You know, let's not be naive about that. For sure, in any country there's good and bad. Even I consider my home country, Ireland, and there's good and bad there. The nice Romanians that I've met, you know, I'm very proud to know them. They're great people. They're humble and they're kind and they're intelligent and you know, sincere.
The most impressive thing? What do you think?
The intelligence, the work ethic. I'm very impressed by that. The creativity. I mean, they're some very creative minds, not always for a good cause. The energy, the civility in the people. I mean, you can walk through Bucharest at 3 in the morning. It's changing, but you can walk through Bucharest at 3 in the morning as a girl on your own and be completely safe. There's no city in England you can do that, even at 10 in the evening. I really hope that the Romanians that have left, and eventually hopefully they'll come back, I hope they don't bring those bad habits from other countries.
Step by step, day by day, mile by mile.
Let me ask you about the language. It was hard for you?
It was very hard, yeah.
Very hard?
Yeah.
What's the
Yeah.
first word that you learned in Romanian?
I learned the numbers first, even in only the first. Everybody talks about numbers. Everything in Romania is connected to a price. If you overhear any conversation, it only contains numbers. Always. No, there are no exceptions to that, at any level. Everything is measured in numbers. And also I don't have all the connecting words. I don't have a strong vocabulary. I'm not good at grammar. I'm dyslexic anyway, which is, in some ways it's a great strength because it gives great creativity. But in other ways, after you've learned something, 2 days later you completely forget it anyway, and you put things back to front. So learning is more difficult for me than it would be for other people. This is home for me.
Tell us something, a message, a wish, something for Romanian?
For me, it's a great pleasure to be here. It's a great honour. It is a struggle. It's a struggle for everybody. La mulți ani, România!